Hello again, this is Gary Williams from the EFT Hub, and I really appreciate you taking time out to watch the video today, another newsletter for you. And in a moment we're going to be sharing with Dr. Carol Look, and Carol's going to be talking about clarity. That's in a moment, but I'm quite excited to tell you now that we now have a forum within our members area, and you can go in there and you can discuss all aspects of EFT and share with other EFTers. So if you've got a few stumbling blocks there, you might want to post a message there, and hopefully other people there can help you with the issue that you have. I know it's already being used, so I'm quite excited about the future of that, and we're going to be bringing in more and more things that you can use within the members area. Of course, we'll also send up a brand new fresh audio every single week, and sometimes more than one, so that you can keep up to date with all the latest aspects of EFT within the members area there, within our library as such, the resource. So do take a look at that, and if you're not a member yet, you can just look at this page here, and we've got details of how you can join our community there. Okay, that's that out of the way. Now let me just share with you now a recent interview that I had with Dr. Carol Look, and we were talking all about clarity and how important it is to actually get clear about what you're doing in life, your direction, everything else, and how that if you get clear in that particular way, it can help to attract things to you, the things that you really want in life and not the things that you don't want. So clarity is very, very important. So here's Dr. Carol Look now with more information about exactly what clarity and what getting clear really is all about using the EFT process. Here's Carol.
Getting clear is truly the most important thing that I've ever done in my life for all topics and all areas of my life. Really, I stopped the static from outside, and I learned how to recognize a yes and a no from inside. And, it helped me make everything from the basic decisions to the big decisions. And it gave me a lot of confidence and peace and quiet. And we really are the only ones who know what's best for us, but we get trapped into thinking, what are you doing in the marketplace? What is he doing? What does she want me to do? What does my family think I should do? Lots of shoulds. And getting super clear means or requires that you listen to your gut and your heart. And if you listen to your gut and your heart, you get the answers. The problem is sometimes we're not crazy about the answers.
Right, because we talk about like intelligence, don't we? But there's also like an emotional intelligence, isn't there?
Yes, which is much more important and much more powerful energetically.
And how do we do that? How do we get into that then? Because I know a lot of people feel disconnected, if you like, don't they?
Right. Well, there are lots of reasons we get disconnected, and that's certainly how we can use EFT is to undo those blocks. But we have to practice being clear, getting clear, and then acting on it. And that's really, we have to feel inspired to do that. And I tell you, once you start to get clear and you feel it, then you start to feel inspired. You don't want the gray areas anymore. You don't want the yes, no, yes, no. You don't want to, take other people's versions of what would be good for you in your life. So, but it does take practice, and it takes, I think, releasing whatever's in the way, whatever noise and static is in the way, or why did you learn not to be clear?
Right. So it actually matters to be clear then, really.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And do you feel more energy then once you've done that?
Yes, I would say that's a good point, is that I felt emotional energy and I felt physical energy and spiritual energy all improve when I got really clear. I had to deal with consequences of getting clear, which means what does that mean for business partners and life partners and people in your life when you're really clear and you know what you want? Right. But the energy improvement was dramatic, and I think that's probably, again, the pulling force. That's the inspiration that it made my life so much easier. I think I didn't realize how many years I had waffled back and forth or listened too much to other people or just not really, I just wasn't as clear as I needed to be for someone, and it just changed everything. So all for the good.
Right. Good. And I suppose if you lack energy, you don't really attract the kind of things that you want in life.
If you lack energy, you don't attract, and if you lack the clarity, you end up giving mixed messages. So that would be if you, Gary, said to me, let's do the interview at 11:30, and I said, okay, let's do it at 11:45. Well, how would we possibly get together on that?
Right.
So you were giving mixed messages to ourselves. I really shouldn't do this, but I really want to do this. The back and forth and the back and forth is exhausting. It drains our energy system. And then we ultimately don't give a very clear message to our bodies, our minds, to the universe. So you really, you want to be clear, get clear, and know what the next step is when you're clear.
Right. I suppose it's like going to a restaurant, isn't it, and buying or looking at the menu and saying, I want this, and then when it comes, you say, well, no, I want something else.
Right. How does the waiter not get confused, right?
Yeah. So,
right.
So it helps. So clarity is important, not just for yourself, but what you project out into the world, as it were.
Yes, that word everybody uses, alignment. Are you in alignment? Are you matching your vibration? Well, if you believe in the universe and law of attraction, what are you communicating about abundance? And basically what most of us do for much of the time is we say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, maybe. And the universe, if you want to talk that way, the universe says, well, she looks pretty confused. How could I possibly deliver to her? Because we say, and this is where limiting beliefs come into it, we might say, yes, I want to double my client load, but no, I don't really want to work that hard, or no, I don't deserve it, or no, I'm afraid of the money, or, yes, I really want to lose the weight, or no, I'm scared of getting there. So we don't realize how unclear we honestly are.
Right.
We think, oh no, people come to my workshops. Oh yes, I want to do this. I want to attract more abundance. And I say, what's the downside of attracting abundance? And they have 3 or 4 downsides.
Right. So we're getting in our own way, aren't we?
Absolutely. And once you learn how to get really clear, then those blocks or the yes buts or the extra noise goes by the wayside, and you can get super clear about what is the next step for you. Whether you take it, that's a whole nother idea, but you want to at least know, or this is what changed my life so much for the better. Again, professionally, personally, health-wise, you really want to know what is your yes, what is the clarity. Get the cluttered noise, the cluttered opinions, even clean up the physical clutter. Do what you have to really listen internally and say, this is what's right for me.
Right. I know within our library we've talked about that clutter before, haven't we, and how to go about that. That's quite a huge area, isn't it?
Well, it's a huge area, but when people understand it's not about the next tool or book that says how to organize and what to put in what container, that's what people keep doing, is they keep doing left brain ways to clean it up, and it doesn't work because clutter starts in the mind.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to clear out the thoughts, the fears, the feelings, right, before we can hear our own voice, because we're listening to our mother, our brother, our sister, our spouse, our friend, our neighbor, what's on the internet. We listen to so much. There is so much incoming data these days. We listen to colleagues and we get scared. And so then you wonder why our internal message isn't very loud. No kidding.
Yeah. And clearing clutter can be quite stressful in itself, can't it?
Yes, because then we bump into why we have it in the first place, why we would need it, why maybe we've used it, what's the upside. So always ask yourself, what's the upside of not being clear? I have so many clients who will say, well, I want to be clear, Carol. I know it's going to change my life. I really want to be clear in business. And I say, well, what's the upside of not being clear?
Right.
And they say, and then every time they say, I don't have to take responsibility for taking a new step.
Right. So we're talking about comfort zones then, and staying where you feel happiest, even if it is painful.
Right. So like with any problem, so whether it was weight loss or quit smoking or abundance issues, what's the downside of getting over it? What's the upside of holding on to it? And you find out that people say they want to be clear, but they're afraid of it.
Right.
What are you afraid of? Right. And so often it's about fear of what someone else would say. So if you get really clear about your business and you have a colleague who's jealous, there is some risk about being clear and taking the next step, because you could be afraid of what someone's going to say or think or what they're going to do.
Right.
If you're really clear about doubling your income this year and somebody else has a problem with it, that's a stop. Energetically, you might stop yourself. This idea of responsibility, I tell you, I have heard it so many times, and in the beginning it really surprised me. So people say, I don't want to, if I get really clear, then I know what the next step is, and I don't want to take it because I'm going to hurt somebody or upset somebody.
It's interesting how individual it can be.
Absolutely. Everybody has it. And as I say, everybody has it in their health life and as well as their work life and their love life. Like we all have clarity issues in every part of our lives.
mean, even say being more successful than your father could be a problem, couldn't it?
Absolutely, being more successful, attracting abundance. So, everybody runs around saying, I want to attract abundance. And I say, really? Is that really true?
Right.
Well, so what's the downside of attracting more financial abundance? Well, actually, I'm a little worried. What would I do with it? Or what if I lose it? All the people who say, well, I can't lose financial abundance until I have it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
And have you found that EFT's been really successful in this area?
Utterly the key, because if you have a fear of getting clear, a fear of speaking your mind, a fear of taking the next step, there are people who are afraid to be clear because they know if they're clear, they have to leave a professional or personal relationship. Or if they get clear, they know that they've got to face their health problem. Or if they get clear, they need to take a step professionally that someone else just might challenge them on.
Yeah.
So EFT is just beautiful, of course, because it addresses every fear, every downside, every limiting belief. So when someone says to me, well, Carol, I'm telling you I want to be clear, but the truth is I'm afraid to get clear. Okay. 0 to 10, why are you afraid to get clear? How high is the number and why? And they say, because if I get clear, I'm going to have to change.
Yeah.
So there's some risk. There's some people listening right now who are saying, yep, I don't want to be clear because I might have to change something in my life, which is possible. You also may get clear and enjoy unbelievable peace of mind and confidence, which has just been an incredible gift. So back to the EFT, when we do tapping on it, I tap on the fear of being clear, what their image is, what would happen if they get clear.